Okay, after I posted and rewatched last video on this, I kind of feel bad. Like I really, I spent a lot of time doing stuff but not getting anything done really. My plan was, my intention was, is that it would give you the steps needed, the information needed to assemble, this part. But after I kind of posted that video and then started working on this more, I realized that this is going to take a lot more work that still needs to be addressed because things weren't really fitting very well. So this, I think, should be, maybe I'll just call this video 7B or 7 the way it should have been, part 7. I don't know. I'm not really pleased with the way things were fitting. I did get the cockpit tub in place. However, it took a lot of work because when I first put it together, I thought it was fine, but when I actually tried starting fitting it, it just wouldn't go together. It was gapped. It was gapped way too much. So what I did, and what you will also probably have to do, I'll apologize ahead of time, if you're building along and trying to do this too, I give you my full apologies. What I had to do is go in here and grind out with a Dremel tool to thin that down. You can see I actually got into the infill here, but that can be filled. A lot more than I thought I was going to have to from the previous video, because I knew it was going to be tight in the previous video. I didn't realize it was going to be this tight. So I removed a lot more here than I thought I was going to have to. And I sanded down that edge a lot more than I thought I was going to have to. And I finally got it to where it would sit in there and have both halves be able to go together. So what I did was, when I finally got it to fit, I clamped those two halves together using electrical tape. Because with this, it's an uneven surface. It's really hard to get a clamp on there. If you just put a clamp on, it's going to slip off. So if you wrap this around it tightly, it'll pull it together nice and tight. So I did it on the front and in the back, and then I pushed that up. I pushed it up as far as I could get it, and then on one half only, I went in with CA along the edge here that I could reach, and I dripped in some solvent along the edge here, and then just let that sit for several hours, and then pulled them back apart. And so now I have two halves that will go together. And it is a little lower than I wanted it. It's setting, I kind of wanted it up right about here instead of down here. So it's setting about 2 millimeters, maybe 3 millimeters lower than I wanted. You might be able to get yours up a little bit higher. I just ran out of patience. What I would highly recommend you do is what I did not do, and that is test fit all of this before you paint or detail anything. And you might also want to just print this, I don't know, a couple of percentage smaller, 2 or 3% smaller might help. I'm going to make this work the way I got it. Now, that also means that the instrument panels don't fit in there. That should be an easy fix though. I'm just going to sand away the edge here until they do. So that should be a nice, easy, simple fix. Not too concerned about that. So that was one hurdle, is getting that to fit. And I just wanted to go ahead and put that out now. I know I just put this part 7 video out, a week and a half ago maybe. So I wanted to go ahead and get this out now just so you would be aware of it. And again, just in case you're following along with me. Also, I'm sure you've noticed the hole in the floor. Now let me show you why I had to do that. Here is the nose gear leg. I've got the door fitted in place. Right now it's just friction fit. It's not glued or anything. I've got the leg painted gloss white. I got the chrome part painted chrome. I got the wheels on. They do turn. They're stiff, but they turn. But I mean, let's face it, you're not going to be running this thing around the floor, so it's not that big a deal. Now these posts right here that go into this bushing, you'll notice I put heat shrink on it. I had to put 2 layers of heat shrink on it. That is because on the original plastic model kit, the gear leg is metal, pot metal. And, I measured with calipers the kit part, and the bushing part, and I drew them as I measured. But the thing is, when you scale something up, you also scale up the tolerances or the clearances or the gaps. So if you had 1/2 millimeter gap, you scale it up 3 times, now you got 1.5 millimeter gap. And that's like really loose. So there was a couple of ways I could have handled this. I just did it by putting heat shrink on it to build up the diameter. That was 2 layers of heat shrink. You will probably have to do something similar. I also thought about just cutting those posts off, drilling a hole through, and putting a metal pin through it. That would probably be the better idea. I might still do that, maybe. I don't know. I guess if one of those breaks off while I'm test fitting, then I guess I will do that. But it would probably be smart of me to go ahead and do that. But anyway, so there's the gear leg fit in place. And it does close or retract nicely, but there you can see the problem. It does hit the bottom of the cockpit tub. That's why I had to cut the hole here for that piece to go in. I didn't have to go all the way through here, but for that scissor, I did have to go most of the way through. Now, if I did go all the way through, that wouldn't be a big deal because the seat, you know, the pilot seat sits right on top of that, so you would never see the hole. But now that gear leg sits in there all the way, and just in case you're curious, the door does close. Let me just get this door in place. So there's how that door will sit. And again, you will have to cut out material right in here to give that room to move. So with that loosely setting in, we put the gear up, we close the door, and since it's not all glued in, it's fighting with me. But the door does close flush, and that's okay. It is hitting the tire. I might thin the door out a little bit. I might go in here and just thin that door out a little bit just to help, but I don't really think I need to, but I probably will just to do it. So that does take quite a lot of work, quite a lot of fitting. Fit it, remove the material that's in the way, test fit it again, just keep doing that till it fits fine. This is not its final form yet. That's still a little bit loose. What I will do is hold that down tight like that and put copious amounts of CA around here. That's just kind of stuck in there for now. And so that way, when the gear comes all the way up, it'll kind of lock it like that and then click it, and then you can retract. So that's kind of the plan for that. Now, chances are I will probably never display this with the gear retracted. So the fact that there's gaps in the doors, I should probably go and glue that one in place. The fact that there's gaps in the doors probably isn't that big of a deal. I mean, look at that gapage here. I might be able to fix that. Well, I probably could. I could probably put a strip of plastic on the edge there. That wouldn't be too hard to do. But I'm not hating it that much. What is that? I don't know. I'm not really hating it that much. That gap I can't do anything with because if I make that closer, it would hit probably when I put the gear down. But anyways, like I was saying, I will probably never display this with the gear up. This will probably be displayed with the gear down, resting on the gear. I might do a few glamour shots with the gear up, I'll probably make some kind of a transparent thing to hold it, like to look like it's in flight, take a few glamour shots like that. But probably this will be displayed either on the gear or it will be displayed in the walking version, standing up on his feet. So yeah, I just wanted to explain some of this stuff before I really got into finalizing this and making the canopy. This video is just going to be really short. But again, as I was fitting stuff, I'm realizing, man, there's problems here that I should have addressed on that video that I just did before here. Now, to fix that hole here, what I'm going to do is make a tunnel. Just a piece of plastic. I might 3D print it or bend it out of styrene. That'll just kind of go up, over, and down. It'll be sealed off in the front and go all the way forward. And that is not unrealistic. Aircraft have, well, some, probably not all, but a lot of aircraft I've seen have this little tunnel that goes right in there between these feet. Then you'd have a rudder pedal on each side of that tunnel thing. And so that's not completely unrealistic. And plus, it won't be that noticeable once the instrument panel's put on. So that's how I will fix that. But again, I just wanted to address some major issues I was having with this, and that's pretty much all I wanted to do here. Next video with this, and it'll probably be a while because I've been busy with a bunch of other stuff, and I've got other projects I'm falling behind on. So it'll probably be several weeks before I get another video back out on this one. But like I said, I just wanted to address these issues that I've been having. Let me show you the other section of this. Here's the other part of this. I've been working on priming it, filling it, sanding it. I've got a little bit more work to do around here. It's not perfectly smooth, but this is almost ready for color, almost. So yeah, again, that's where it's at now. Just a really quick, I guess, part B, step 7B, just to explain stuff I should have explained before. So anyways, sorry for rambling. As always, thanks for watching.